Spirit of life flowing from me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life to all creation. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life is in you, is in me. Spirit of life flowing from God, sing in our hearts all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in our hands, giving life to all creation. Roots hold us close, wings set us free. Spirit of life is in you, is in me. Spirit of life is in you, is in
Lighting the flames of faith is a call to service. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and the path of peace. We light the candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as practitioner, Marlene Kuckler lights the last candle. Let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. Please join me in prayer. I pray and I invoke the power of Almighty God. Knowing that there is only one presence, we join together in that consciousness. For there is only one divine energy, one creative intelligence, one awesome magnificence, one infinite love. I know that this love that God is, lives and moves and has its expression through each one of us. We are the experience of spirit. We are the beauty. We are the compassion. We are the love of God in expression. And each one of us is an excellent idea in that mind. And we express it beautifully with our thoughts, our actions, and our words. And so today I affirm and I decree that all is well, and that we are this vitality and this energy and this beautiful expression of God's love. And we're here to honor that love given to us by our fathers, that respect, that compassion, that beauty. So we are here this morning to receive the beautiful and words of wisdom from Dr. Heather, to be lifted up by this wonderful music of the choir and our band. We are here alive, awake, and aware of all the good that God is. And so it is with a grateful heart that I place these words into divine mind, knowing that they are already created, just as we believe. And so I anchor this treatment, this prayer, in confidence, in love, and in truth. And please say with me, and so it is. And now, Dr. Heather Dawn Clark.
Thank you. Good morning. And happy Father's Day. Thank you. There is a divine masculine in everyone, so not only are we honoring the biological or step or uh, fathers that gave us love and nurturing, but we're honoring that divine presence within us as well this morning. So, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley. You see that we allowed and let this wonderful set remain, and we did that on purpose. Of course, this will be the only time you'll be able to see it, then it will be gone by next week. We're really happy that you came, and for all of you that were also here Friday night, really happy that you were there also. I'd like to acknowledge and introduce the people who are going to be on the platform with me or close to the platform, as the case may be. Starting with our, well, first of all, starting with my platform assistant, Reverend Judy Chapman, and she will be joined. She will be joined by Lynn Brown. Where are you, Lynn? Right here. Later on with the announcements. And I'd like to acknowledge the band. I really like to acknowledge Diane King Ban, our music director, choir director. And on guitar, Ed Cusby. On drums, David Page. And on bass, Bill Dixon. Our guest vocalists this morning are parts of the Jewel Tones Choir. Would you wave or something? Stand. So, yeah, parts of. Yay. And our song leader this morning is Reverend Karen Allen, who's going to come forth. And you'll notice that we've adjusted the lyrics. So if you don't need them, that's an even better thing. But please stand. We're going to sing together our first song, which is Get Together.
Love is but a song we sing, and fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Know the dove is on the wing, and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Time to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, we will surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Time to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Time to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Time to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Time to love one another right now. Right now, right now.
Greet the people around you, and then we'll declare our principles. And if you'd please be seated, we're going to declare our principles together. They are on the screens. Please join me. I believe in God, the one creative intelligence operating through the universe. And wait, wait for it, please, because, okay, now, and operating throughout my entire being, now and always. Wait. Upon my law of mind, and creates my experience exactly according to my belief. Wait. I believe this perfect intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to produce health, abundance, and love in my body and total life experience. I use it now, and I rejoice in it, and so it is. Well done. Yes, indeed. I'd like to acknowledge those of you who are in service today or have been in service this week. So if that's you, would you please stand so we can give you a lot of love? So I would like to acknowledge the practitioners, but I don't want the affirmation reader to come up yet. So the practitioners who are trained in the art and science of affirmative prayer, make an appointment with one of these people. Your life will change forever. And now with the people in service today, continue to stand so I know who you are. So holding the high watch, we have Dr. Jeannie Hounshell, we have Marlene Kuckler, we have Pam Rock, and we have Kim Province, but she's not going to come up yet. Let's acknowledge all of our practitioners. You can sit. Thanks. I want to acknowledge the people in the show, and some of the people that were instrumental to the show weren't acknowledged specifically on Friday night. So one of those is our wonderful MC, Clark Wilson. Would you stand up and get a huge, just did a fabulous job. And the other person who was acknowledged, but he wasn't here because he was looking after his beloved dog Molly, who was making her transition, is here this morning. Don, would you please stand? Don created this beautiful set, and I'm so happy that you could be here so we could give you our love. Thank you. Now, Kim, if you're the affirmation reader, would you please come forward? She's going to read the affirmation, and then we'll all read it together if we can see it. If not, she'll read it and we'll repeat it.
Okay, so today I honor dads, whether my own dad, my spouse, my brother, or son. I recognize the brilliance in each father's role in raising the next generation of conscious men. Thank you, Spirit, for this special gift of dads.
It's now time that we get quiet, and we do this by chanting first. And the chant that we're chanting this month is Alyssa Felipe chant, I'm Remembering Who I Am. The lyrics are very simple, and they will be on the screens. Settle in.
I am remembering who I am. I am remembering I am remembering who I am. 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 I am remembering who I am.
And remembering who you are. Continue that conscious breath and turn your attention inward to put your attention on a conscious, aware person, male or female, that you admire. Note what it is that makes them conscious. Notice what it is that you admire. See if that quality can be boiled down to one word or a phrase. And then own that thing for yourself in the silence. Let that float in your mind after the holy I am love, I am forgiveness, I am awareness, whatever it is. Just let it float in your mind in the silence for a moment.
I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am.
And then if you'd come fully back, if you've been away, come fully back into your body and to be ready for the rest of our service. And it's my joy to welcome a portion or the whole, the Jewel Tones Choir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw peace going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, my LA fly. Blue days, all been gone. Nothing but blue skies. Nothing but blue skies. Nothing but blue skies. From now
Let's acknowledge them one more time and our wonderful band. That was the comment I heard most on Friday night. You are so lucky or blessed, depending on who it was that was talking, to have such great talent in this center. And we are. We are very blessed. So this week, this whole month is about purpose, and today's message is entitled A Father's Strength. And it comes from our journal. And in the journal, it's really a short essay about giving advice to dads, how to be good dads. And that isn't sort of where I wanted to go with it, but by all means, read the journal. It's coming up in 2 days. It was the perfect title for Father's Day. But what does strength mean? What is a father's strength? What is that thing that we say, my dad is strong? What does it mean? Does it mean my dad is strong, that he has big muscles and is able to lift furniture and, lift cars off people and things like that? It could mean that, but I don't think that's all it means. I think the real strength of the divine masculine or of the good fathers is the strength of character, is the strength of knowing and teaching and modeling how to be in this world, how to live a full life, how to bring joy to every moment. And so many of you have told me about your fathers, and some of you have such beautiful memories. Some of your fathers are still with us, some of your fathers are not. But they're still in eternal life. Some of your fathers were tender and loving and kind and used their strength to be patient, to be compassionate, to be loving. Others weren't quite as awake. And the unawakened ones, I would just say they hadn't realized their real strength yet. They hadn't awakened to that strength. Most of you probably had experiences because our parents' job is to give us both roots and wings. Roots, so we appreciate and have values and know where we belong and what is home, and wings, so that we'll be independent and fly. One without the other is not a good job. Having wings without roots means that there's a displacement. Having roots without wings means that you have never developed your own sense of identity. So what I know is that what I'm talking about, a father's strength, and it's for all of us, men and women, a father's strength is that is the vision caster, is that knows that his job, especially when children are young, but for his whole life, involves modeling what kind of person he wants his children to be. And a father's way of being affects both his daughters and his sons. Oftentimes, Rick and Karen have sung on Father's Day the John Mayer song about how daughters are watching. They're watching their dads. Their dads are teaching them about relationships, and so are their mothers. So, this great strength that a father brings. So, first of all, for the 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 fathers, um, I want to talk just a little bit about my own dad, who passed the year I moved to the United States, which was 1993. He was suffering greatly from dementia, from Alzheimer's, and he was not nearly the man that he had been all of my life. But it was where he was in his life. And his passing was a blessing to my mom and to the rest of the family, but didn't mean that we weren't sad. We were still sad. And of course, there was a flood of memories. And the memory that came to me this morning, not last night, and oh, by the way, I need to show you something. I got here this morning and I went into the bookstore, and in the middle of the floor, on the bookstore floor, is this book. It had jumped off the shelf. Now, I'm telling you, it was far away. It was like 4 feet away. Something moved it off the shelf. So I actually think it's my dad, but it could be someone else's dad. There are several people here it could be. But look at the title of this book, The Secret Language of the Soul, a visual guide to the spiritual world. I don't know if we have more than one copy, but we can order more. I'm going to put it back. I just thought how interesting that this day, this would be the book. So what we know is that we live in a unified field, the physicists say. We could say we live in a spiritual oneness, a wholeness, and that everything is connected. Everything is connected. And so anything that we see has meaning for the one looking. In fact, the world is created by that look, by that gaze. What we experience is what we expect to experience. What we're looking for, we're looking at and with. Let me say it again. What we're looking for, we're looking at and with. So this was no mistake. It was no accident. I was supposed to let you know that that's the first thing I saw when I walked in the bookstore this morning. And it reminded me of my dad. Thursday night or Wednesday night, that night, early in the morning, I have a vivid dream. And I rarely remember my dreams, and I don't even remember the whole thing of this one, but it was about my dad. My dad was driving a big car, a huge car. Now, remember in the 50s, those of you who are old enough, and most of us are, that we could, those big, wide seats that you could get 4 or 5 adults across them, and we did, or 7 children. That's what we did, but there was no fear. Anyway, my dad was driving this big old car, and it was filled with people that I knew, but we were going on a trip. We were going somewhere that required a couple of flights. It was a long way. And that's all I remember. But about 4 or 5 hours later, I found out that John LaMontagne had passed that morning. And I thought, I wonder if this is connected. I wonder if it's connected. My message from my dad was connected to this beautiful family who was in need of support, um, and they're here this morning. So Joan and Ann, you're in all of our hearts. We're really very happy that you're here, and know that you hear exactly what you need to hear on this Father's Day, and that's for everybody. So I had this dream about my dad. I put it together a little while later that somehow there's always a messenger. There's always a messenger. We may not understand the message because we often are literal in our thinking. Well, my dad is not driving a car anymore. He's, well, maybe, but he's not on this side driving a car, and who knows what he's doing on the other side. But it brought that to mind. The strength of my father was his great patience. He was one of the most patient men I know. My first ex-husband called me on his death and said, I want to express my condolences. Your dad was the best man I've met, and that he was the greatest teacher there was. My dad attempted to teach my adult husband so he could go to university to upgrade his math skills. My dad had a master's in math, was our local principal for many years, and was a teacher, the best teacher I know. A kind of teacher that could take a very complex thing like algebra and teach it to someone who was not an abstract thinker. That was what he was good at. And it didn't matter how tired he would do that. I admire that so much. And here's what I know from the meditation. Um, whatever it is that you admired, the person you admired, that represents the Father within you. And what you put the words I am in front of that quality, you're owning it. You're moving toward it. You're moving into it. You're making it full, making it complete in your life. My dad was also a very compassionate man. I went into university with a full scholarship. I had really great marks. Well, who wouldn't? Your dad is the principal, so I'd studied a lot. And I came out of first year university having majored really in partying rather than in any of the subjects, with a really dismal scores. I got 2 B's, a D, and 2 F's. I know, and I was so afraid to go home and tell my dad. The marks in those days were posted at the university campus, and I was so afraid. But one of my friends had already told my dad. So, because he was her teacher too, right? So they're all calling to say, Mr. Clark, here's how I did. She did very well. I called my dad and I couldn't talk. And he just said, that's okay, honey, I know. It was the most compassionate way of acknowledging. We don't love you because of your good grades. It isn't a conditional love. It's unconditioned and unconditional. And that, I think, is great strength. He had every right in the world to, he and my mom, other than the scholarship, they were paying everything. And I went straight through my 4-year degree in 3 years. And after that dismal start, I had to catch up some. And they paid for everything, which was so very generous of them. And that is the other thing, that generosity is a great strength. Love is a great strength. And who our fathers are the ones who taught us about life. Some things they believed about life weren't true, but they were doing the best they could. They taught us what they believed. And they cast their vision for our lives. They cast their vision. They're vision casters. So when you look at the creative process, it always seemed odd. Ernest Holmes would say that it's the masculine aspect that's the intuition, not the feminine. It always seemed odd because we talk about women's intuition, but when you start realizing the masculine is the chooser, the inner father is that which chooses to know something, chooses values, chooses ways of life. So that inner father that is in you is your conscious mind, according to Ernest Holmes' creative process. It's the thoughts you can choose to think. And when they're in alignment with the good that is, they bless you and they bless your life. Think about the last, let's say, 48 hours. I know some of you were really busy the 72 hours before that, but you had the choir and all of us who attended had this extraordinary show Friday night. And then what about yesterday? Where was your language yesterday? What vision were you what vision were you casting? What were you saying about yourself? Were you saying, God, it's a great life. I'm so happy to be alive? Were you saying, I'm a powerful, independent thinker? Were you saying, I get better looking every day? Or was your conversation around how tired you are? How exhausted? I heard exhausted a lot. And on the physical plane, I understand. This group of people, and there are people that aren't able to be here this morning, the Jewel Tones Choir worked their tails off last week. I mean, they were here every night until after midnight some nights, and really working and working and working to give us a great show, and they did. And it's then in the aftermath to stay in the positive. Blue skies are smiling on me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. It's your choice. What are you prophesizing? Are you saying, I'm well, I'm great, I'm happy, I'm whole, I'm healthy? Or are you paying attention to an ache or a pain and giving it power in your life? That inner father within you knows you only as whole, complete, and perfect. I had a couple of things that I wanted to share. So the sixth commandment is honor thy father and mother, then you will live a long, full life in the land of the Lord your God. Listen to the whole thing. It's not just honor your father and mother. Honor your father and mother, then you will live a long, full life. So it's a condition of living a long, full life is to honor those two that gave you life. And that's part of what we're doing today. No matter how well, how awakened they were, every single father or father figure was doing the best he knew how, or if it was a woman, she knew how, at the time they did it. If they could have done any differently, they would have. And if they cast a vision for your life that doesn't fit you anymore, then you need to be your own inner father and choose a life that's befitting the child of the mighty one God that there is, the wholeness of life itself. When I was thinking about my dad, I was thinking about his love of poetry, which I found a strength too. He could recite probably 1,001 or whatever you said last on Friday, Diane. The number of lyrics these people learned was phenomenal. My dad and his two brothers could sit and recite poetry for hours. That's what they'd learned in school, and they were all brilliant men with great memories until in my dad for the end. And I thought about this Rudyard Kipling poem, and I'm going to read part of it. Most of you know it. Listen as if you've never heard it before. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you and make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired of waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or feeling hatred, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and meet these two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, if you can walk with kings and not lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. A fully functioning, fully present human being. The strength of the Father. So what are your strengths? And then the two tools to use in making sure that those strengths are yours. They're both something we do every Sunday here. And one is meditation, to get quiet, to listen to that inner prompting from the Father within, the creative presence within you saying, go this direction or go this direction. And then to use affirmative prayer, to speak your word aloud as if it's already so, and continue to bring it into expression. Those two tools are the mainstays of the science of mind. And yet we forget. We poison our lives with falsehoods, with lies. While all the time the law through which Spirit works is just sitting there saying yes, 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 yes. Except it doesn't give it any kind of emotion at all. It just says yes, simply yes. What are you saying yes to? A father's strength is to say yes to the things you do want, even and especially when you don't see them around you. To keep casting that vision for a future you do want, a world that works for you and for me, for everyone else. David White is a current modern-day poet, and I want to close by sharing one of his pieces. It's not as, it's deeper, perhaps, than the traditional Kipling. It was for me anyway. It's entitled The Opening of Eyes. That day I saw beneath dark clouds the passing light over the water, and I heard the voice of the world speak out. I knew then, as I had before, life is no passing memory of what has been, nor the remaining pages in a great book waiting to be read. It is the opening of eyes, long closed. It is the vision of far-off things, seen for the silence they told. It is the heart, after years of secret conversing, speaking out loud in the open air. It is Moses in the desert, fallen to his knees before the lit bush. It is the man throwing away his shoes as if to enter heaven, and finding himself astonished, opened at last, fallen in love with solid ground. Fallen in love with solid ground. The strength of the Father is in each one of you right here, right now. May this day mark a new beginning for each one of us to speak our holy words out loud about what it is we are, who we are, and what we're doing here. Do not let your circumstances or what's in your life control who you are. The I am is infinite, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I believe it's a portion of the Jewel Tones Choir that's going to be performing.
Are we on? We're going to reprise a number that we did Friday night. We're one cowboy down today, but we'll be fine. Apropos your comment about inner dialogue, when Diane and I were in our infancy of our relationship, she's looking at me. One morning I was standing in front of the mirror and I said, I can hardly wait till tomorrow. Naturally, she said, why? And I said, I get better looking every day. Now, she will tell you that's the moment when she should have run. But thank goodness for me, she didn't. All right. This is a song that I understand that Dr. Heather has been wanting to hear for a very long time. So we finally got us some cowhands to sing this song. You've only had to wait 15 years. This goes out to Dr. Heather. Sons of the Pioneers. Over there.
See them tumbling down, wedging their love through the ground. Lonely but free I'll be found, drifting along with the tumble and tumbleweed. Cares of the past are behind. Know where to go, but I'll find just where the trail will wind, drifting along with the tumble and tumbleweed.
I know when night is gone,
that a new world's born at dawn. I'll be rolling along. Deep in my heart is a song. Here on the range I belong, drifting along with the tumble and tumbleweed.
well, I know when night is gone,
That a new world's born at dawn. I'll be rolling along. Deep in my heart is a song. Here on the range I belong, drifting along with the tumble and tumbleweed. Drifting along with the tumbling tumbleweed.
Yippee-ki-yay!
I was I was raised on the prairies, but that wasn't why that song was so delightful to me. It was because in my family we sang. We had, we sang at weddings. We sang whenever there were get-togethers. And I had three cousins, two cousins and a cousin by marriage, that sang that so beautifully, and that the harmonies just make my heart open. They're just so beautiful. I, to me, and thank you. That what a wonderful gift. So let's acknowledge the men for doing that again. I actually here at the beach I belong. It's no longer here at the range I belong. It's here at the beach I belong. You guys don't even know what a tumbleweed is, but I sure do, and they're no fun. So if anyone's here for the very first time, we're so glad that you came, and if you raise your hand, we'll bring information. Welcome, welcome. So happy that anyone else? Only if she wants to. Oh, well then. But we could still give you a gift. Thank you for letting yourself be acknowledged. Welcome to our visitors. The information in that green bag is information about our center. It's about what we believe and who we are. And if you fill in the welcome card and take it to the bookstore, which is through the doors and into the next doors to the right, you'll select a book as a gift of your choice. So let's acknowledge our visitors. Thank you for being here. And then if the stewards would please come forward. It's time for us to share our gifts, our tithes, our offerings. Leslie's here, but I think I'll go around. I'll speak from here, but okay. Let's set the consciousness. This is what I know with my heart and soul, that there is only one source of all supply. And that one that goes by many names I call God. It is present right here in its entirety. And so in this time, I take so much gratitude for all that I've been given, and I give back. I give to this center, for it symbolizes that source that is God. With my heart filled with gratitude, I'm so blessed to be aware of this reciprocity in life. And then let's say together, my offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply and symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
This goes out to all the papas and grandpapas, and actually everyone, because we all had a father and have fathers. Papa's gonna make it all right now. Papa's gonna make it all right. So calm your fears and dry your tears. Papa's gonna make it all right. You're gonna flourish and grow, love. You're gonna flourish and grow like daffodils on rolling hills. You're gonna flourish and grow. Papa's gonna scare off the summer nor storm. No rain shall fall on your face. Papa's gonna keep you all safe and warm, sheltered in his loving grace. Papa's gonna make it all right now. Papa's gonna make it all right. So don't you fret or be upset. Papa's gonna make it all right now. Papa's gonna make it all right. Papa's gonna be there to see you through the hard times when life gets you down. Papa's got a shoulder to lean upon, and know that he's always around. Papa's there to make it all right. Yes, Papa's there to make it all right. So don't you fret or be upset. Papa's gonna love you for always. Papa's gonna make it all right. Happy Father's Day.
The stewards would come forward. We're going to receive their offerings. I invite you to put your hands like you're holding something so you can feel the energy and know that that energy is going into the baskets and has already gone in the baskets. And please repeat after me. On behalf of my beloved center, I receive these gifts, knowing they bless everything they touch and return to every giver, multiplied, pressed down, and spilling over. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you, stewards. Reverend Judy, Lynn.
Dr. Heather, would you come forward for a moment, please? "15 years ago, I was on the board of trustees of this center, and Dr. Jackie told us that she was going to retire. So we had many, many, many ministers wanting and coveting this position. That's true. Many. And we went as on that board at that time in the candidating committee. We had several speakers, many videos to watch. But when this woman gave her talk and we went back into the room, I said, this is the one. This is the one that will move us forward, will inspire us, and be our teacher, our mentor, and the person that we want at this center. So we all voted, and it was absolute yes. 15 years ago today was her first service. So let's, and these, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And the flowers are from the board, present board, and from the congregation in her honor.
Can I say one thing about this? It was Choir Sunday on Father's Day that many years ago, and it was so beautiful to have at least part of the choir. I know that they worked hard this last week. It was 2 services, at least twice as many people that are here now Here's my vision I'm casting for us. Please catch it and hold it with me. That by next Father's Day, we have retrieved that consciousness of bigness, of wholeness, of growth, and of abundance. Thank you.
What I did mention, of all the ministers that she has taught, and most of them that are here, and many, many, many over those years, we have Dr. Heather to thank for that. So, is this on? Yes.
Conscious Connection is not meeting today. Thank you very much.
This Wednesday at Wednesday's Wisdom at 7 o'clock, our newest minister, Michael DeFebo, Reverend Michael DeFebo, will be our speaker, and his topic is Prosperity Plus. Go figure. So if you would like to hear our newest minister, please come at 7 o'clock this Wednesday. And I just wanted to put a little note in. On the 2nd of July, we are having a potluck here on Wednesday, and also Music of America, a music through the history of America, put on by Wade and many, many others. So you don't want to miss that.
We have 5 executive suites available. So get the word out on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever you use, and get them in touch with our office here at the center. Thank you. There will be a blood drive on Wednesday, July 2nd from 10 a.m. to 4:15 in the multipurpose room, but please sign up online with redcross.org and use the code CFSL.
Thank you. Our beloved friend John's Celebration of Life service will be on Saturday, June the 28th at 10 a.m. at the Pacific View Cemetery in Newport Beach. After that service, we'll go to the graveside and there'll be military honors. And then after that, John wanted a party. So there'll be a party at 2 o'clock at the Balboa Yacht Club. So please, yes, please come and celebrate John's life with all of us.
Prosperity Plus class begins Sunday, June 22nd at 1 p.m. There are no prerequisites for this 10-week class. Prosperity Plus 2 begins Tuesday, June 24th. However, you must have had Prosperity Plus in order to sign up for Prosperity Plus 2. Reverend Dr. Heather and Reverend Michael are co-facilitating. They need you to sign up ahead of time.
And if you have any questions about it, you can talk to Dr. Heather after the service. Thank you, Lynn. I just have a couple, yes, thank you. I have a couple more announcements. If you signed up for a Gourmets for God dinner or event, on the back table, your name is there. Please check it out, and it's time to pay the piper and pay for those dinners. Someone, Kim probably, someone else will be in the bookstore, so you need to pay for your tickets. Also, Grant and Rita have 2 tickets to the one this, oh, you got it? See Grant and Rita after the service if you'd like to purchase their tickets as they had a conflict of schedule for the next Saturday night. Working it out as we speak. There'll be no women's meeting on July the 4th because we're all going to be out there with our sparklers. It'll be on July the 11th, and Laura is heading that up. So thank you very much. And now the children.